Hey you guys, thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel today. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience with Frontier Airlines. That's all I have to say about that because it was just terrible. And I'm not just saying it, it really was terrible. It was horrible. And so let me just start off with how everything went. So this year, 2022 of April, my husband and I had paid to go on vacation, to go to Cancun because we hadn't been on vacation together in a while out of the country, because he has to work, so he wasn't able to get the off days, blah, 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 whatever. So we were planning to go on vacation to Cancun. Well, we had already booked our vacation to Cancun. And the reason why I originally chose Frontier Airlines is because they didn't have any layovers. When I looked at the flight, it said that it was 3.5 or 4 hours or something like that. And it was from Detroit straight to Cancun. And I'm like, man, that is unheard of for the price that we got it for. I think we got it for $800 something, $900, which was really good, both of us together. Normally when we go out of the country it would be $1,400-$1,500 for 2 tickets. So I'm like, man. And normally I would fly JetBlue or Southwest or the ones that got snacks, I love those, or American. And so I noticed with this particular airline, you had to pay for your bags when you got there. I'm like, cool, that's fine. As long as we can go straight there, no layovers. All the other ones had 4 or 5 hour layovers, whatever. So we get to the airport. What's crazy is the week before I had a dream that something happened with our flight. And we ended up having to cancel our trip. And I'm just so that week I told my sister, I was like, do you think I should reschedule it? Because I had a dream, something happened with our trip and we weren't able to go. And my sister's like, no, you deserve this. You've been with your kids. If you don't know, if you haven't watched my YouTube channel, I'm a mom of 3 children. And so I'm always on my feet, always on the go or whatever. And so for me and my husband to have this alone time together meant so much to us because it was important to us. And we spent a hefty amount of money to go on this trip. So anyway, so we get there and we get to the airport. So anyway, my sister tells me, she's like, yeah, just go, no. And I'm like, I don't know, I just have a feeling something's about to happen. But I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna ignore it, it's whatever. Week later, our trip comes, April 3rd, okay? And we get there, we're so excited. We got our bags packed, we got our babysitters. I have milk pump. Now I breastfeed, okay? So I had to pump enough milk for my daughter to be able to stay here, while I go to Cancun, because I'm not gonna be in the States. It's not like I can just give her breast milk or whatever. I had to pre-pump it. So we get there, we're excited, we have our bags, our luggage, everything. We get there and literally, I look on my phone, and because we're there super early, because for international flights you have to be 3 hours early, and so we were there 3.5 hours early. I look at my phone and I'm like, babe, because nobody's lining up where Frontier was, and I'm looking babe, I just got a message from Frontier and they said that our flight is delayed. And he's like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, okay, all right, sorry, just a setback, it's fine. We were set back a couple hours. So I'm like, it was from 9 and then we were leaving at actually it was a few hours, 12. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. So I was like, well, let's just at least get checked in, whatever. So we're on the other side and we can get on our plane, we can just go. We get to the other side, y'all. We get over there and they're like, oh, your flight is delayed again. I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all. Y'all should have seen the white people, okay? I'm not trying to say nothing. Look, I don't have no shade against white people, but we just have different culture. Y'all should have seen them. They was on fire. They was so mad. Me and my husband was ticked, but we was okay. They was no, what's going on? No, y'all need to what is going on? Y'all need to fix this because we paid our money. Y'all need to get a plane out here right now. Come on. And they're like, no, there's nothing we can do. And so we're just all waiting there. They pushed it back to 2 o'clock. Then they pushed it back to, I think, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And we're just sitting there. So finally, the plane pulls up, and it's like everybody's sharing, like, yay, like we get to leave. And as soon as the plane gets there, they're like, yeah, sorry to say this, but the flight has been canceled. Y'all, I could have broke down crying in that moment. I don't understand how long I was waiting to go on this trip and how much I was looking forward to it. All the clothes that I bought, all the milk that I pumped, the hours we waited in that airport just to be told like that our flight was canceled. I was peed, okay? And then not just that, we were supposed to be there that day to check into our room at like 2 o'clock. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I paid for a brand new passport because I didn't have my I had my old passport, my old name, so I had to get it with my married name. I had to get a brand new I mean, we went through so much to go on this trip, and to be told that it was canceled, y'all. I was so mad that I could cry. And then they have the audacity to send everybody an email who signed up. I was signed up through my email. Oh, we're going to give you guys vouchers for a discount, and it only covers $600. Okay, our tickets were more than $600. And then there are other people here who have brought their families who have had other tickets, who have paid for multiple tickets where their tickets are more than $600. So they're going to need more than that. Like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Y'all, peed. I was pissed. Okay? So, anyway, so I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's why I had the dream. And what's crazy is I kept getting that feeling from God. So I'm not gonna go into that because I know it's like other people on here, but I'm gonna just say, y'all, God have a way of speaking to you when you have a relationship with him, when you pray to him. He has a way of letting us know, okay? So I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I even I know my husband is like, oh my gosh, like I know he's like peed off because we were waiting and looking forward to this trip, and we needed it because we give out to our kids 24/7. And then my husband works, and I'm at home, and then I have a job too. So, an at-home job where I work for, anyway. So, yeah, so I'm just like, oh my gosh. So, I'm like, this has got to, they're going to tell us that we're going to be able to get on another flight. They tell us the next flight doesn't go out until tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Y'all think I'm about to fly with y'all after y'all did this? And then the last time I flew with them, I had a horrible time. And then all the other people who I heard about after our flight was canceled told us, like, yeah, we had a horrible time with them. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh, y'all, I was so mad. So we go home, okay. Sorry, y'all, my daughter was fooling. But anyway, so we go home, y'all, and Frontier is so ghetto. And let me tell y'all why they canceled our flight. They said they canceled our flight because a crew member got sick. Get the crew member off the plane, clean the seats, and freaking get us on the plane. Like, what are y'all doing? Sorry, that's my daughter, y'all. She's like, turn it up for what, though? Like, I'm making a video. But yeah, so I'm just like really? Y'all should have seen the white people. They was like, Lysol the plane and let's go. Like, y'all need to Lysol these seats. And they just couldn't understand, like, what? But anyway, so, but y'all, we were like crushed. So we had to come home with our luggage. Mila had drunk some of her milk. So how am I gonna pump the amount that she, it sucked all the way around. So I called. We had to also pay money to call out to Mexico to tell them that we weren't going to be able to make it, and we were asking them if we could get refunded and maybe push out our days to next week. They're like, no, we only can do the reservation for this time, and if you don't show up, it's canceled. You lose your money. Like, are you serious? Like, y'all, I wanted to literally, like, cry. And then not just that, we looked online, and actually Frontier was booked. All the other flights were booked. The next flight out wasn't until Wednesday, and we were only supposed to be there from Sunday to Thursday. So the next flight out wasn't until, like, Tuesday. And so I'm just like, bro, we lost, like, 3 days of our trip. Like, I literally wanted to break down and cry, like, right there in that moment. So thank you, Frontier. Thank you. Yeah. So, you know, your girl had to call Frontier. I was blowing them up, like, we gonna need a refund, okay? We gonna need a refund. And they're like, oh, we're gonna get you a refund. Don't worry, we're gonna get you a refund. Da, 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 da. I'm like, no, I'm gonna need a refund, and I'm gonna need y'all to pay for every extra dollar that I spent for this trip that we weren't even supposed to spend. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, you know what I'm saying? And it came out of our pockets, and, like, first of all, you don't know what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're house hunting, everything. Like, we had to dig into our stuff to pay for this, what y'all did. You know, what Frontier Airlines did. And it sucked. It literally sucked. And so, not to get super spiritual, but I got to put a little spiritual in here because y'all know I'm a Christian. But I just came home and I prayed to God, and I was like, God, like, what do I do? Like, you know, before I paid for a ticket or anything. And I felt led to go, but God did not lead me to fly with Frontier Airlines. I felt led in my spirit to fly with someone else. And that's what I did. And we ended up booking our tickets. We paid $1,500 for JetBlue and American, which they were amazing. They gave us snacks. We had layovers, but it was cool because we got to Cancun. We ended up having to pay for another resort because we still wanted to get our 5 days in. So we stayed from Tuesday to Saturday. And we ended up having to go to another resort because the resort that we were at, they didn't have any more room. Melly, be quiet. They didn't have enough room. So we had to go to another resort. So that sucked. So just all the way around, Frontier, like, screwed us over. It was just so inconsiderate, like, and they're talking about because a crew member got sick. I honestly don't believe that. Like, they're known for canceling flights. And so I'm just putting this out there. I don't know your experience if you flew Frontier, but I had a horrible experience. I will never fly Frontier again. And I know some people like, no, black people is problematic. No, I'm not. First of all, we not problematic. And second of all, I'm black. And I know there are some problematic black people, don't get me wrong, but there's problematic in every race. And I'm not one of those people who give people a hard time. Me and my husband are pretty low-key. We're chill. We're really nice people. But I think if this is done to any person, it's wrong. Like, for them to spend their money, their hard-earned money on this trip, and you just be like, oh, we can give you $600. Like, it was just, like, they screwed us over. And all these people were going to Cancun, too. So I can't imagine how they were feeling. Like, it was wrong. And so, yeah, that was my experience with Frontier. And then the people there were there was the first lady we went to, she was really, really nice. And then, like, some of the other people just were unprofessional. They were unorganized. I noticed they didn't have TVs. Like, I pay attention. My husband actually noticed it first. But they didn't have TVs, like, so you know where you go to check your bag. They didn't have, like, TVs or nothing. Like, it just looked like, okay. So, and all the other airlines had, like, TVs. They had, like, the people were super friendly. They come up to you. Let me tell you about our experience with JetBlue and American. I'm gonna make a whole nother video about that. But they came and got our luggage from us. Like, we didn't even have to walk up. They were like, let me get that for you. Like, they were so nice. And then they're like, let me see your tickets. Like, where are you going? Like, they were just they weren't like treating you like you were in the military. Like, come on, let's go. Like, whatever. It was just, Frontier was horrible. And I will never fly them again. I wouldn't recommend flying them either. So, I just wanted to share my experience, and I'm just letting you know. Take my word for it. Take my word for it, bro. Take my word for it, sis. And go look up their reviews online before you fly them. I'm just letting you know right now. Okay? I'm not the only one. So don't be cheap. Spend that money and get you a nice airline because we deserve it for all the money we spend for our flights. So, but yeah, that was my experience. And yeah, so yeah, if you enjoyed this video or if you have any questions about anything else, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Yeah, comment questions or whatever, but comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again on my channel soon. Thanks again.